John, great to see you. After
Morning, Jeff.
quite a few years, I think.
Oh, it has been. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, goodness. Now, the reason for the our chat today is to find out more about one of your trips, which is up and coming to Truk Lagoon.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah.
I believe you have an offer on for the last couple of places.
We do. Unfortunately, as with all these group trips, particularly those that have been booked pre-COVID, things have changed. People's circumstances have changed. So we find ourselves with 3 and a bit weeks to go, with two spaces available on the boat. Um, Given the fact that our original retail price was based on the 2019 prices of Odyssey, the safari boat over there, it was a great deal before we reduced the price, but now it's just insane. And we've come from £5,600 per person, and that's an atoll protected flight inclusive price. That includes all flights from the UK to Manila with Emirates, and then from Manila on to Truk with United Airlines and back. But we've reduced the price from £5,600 down to £4,100 per person inclusive, just to fill these last two spaces.
That's quite a drop. That's a very attractive drop. My
It
goodness.
is. I mean, there will never be prices like this again. As I said, these were 2019 prices. There's no space available on our chosen vessel, Odyssey, until way beyond the back end of 2025 now, and we're actually filling full charter opportunities in 2025 and 2026 already for Odyssey. But that's Odyssey. She's a very, very special boat, and our favourite over there. So,
Fantastic. Can you tell us a bit more about the trip?
yeah. So we depart on the 5th of April from London. First leg is London Dubai with Emirates. It's just short of 7 hours. We've got a couple of hours on the ground to transit before we jump on the flight onto Manila, and that's at just over 8 hours. Arriving into Manila late afternoon, and then there's a nighttime flight from Manila with United Airlines on to Guam. Everybody has to go through Guam to get to Truk Lagoon, and Guam is a US military territory. So we'll assist with the visa and ESTA requirement there, providing the correct links. Baggage all the way through is super generous with Emirates. It's 30 kilos. With United Airlines, bizarrely enough, it's 2 times 23 kilos plus unlimited weight, but size restricted in the cabin. So take a small family from Manila to Truk quite happily, whereas Emirates a little bit more restrictive. We have a night on arrival in Truk Lagoon at the famous Blue Lagoon Resort, which is a super waterside hotel. And in fact, the background sitting behind my ugly head here is taken from the Blue Lagoon Resort Hotel gardens, and you can see Odyssey, our boat, in the background there. It is a lagoon, and you can see the other side of the lagoon in the back of the picture there as well. So expect calm waters and go from there. So one night on arrival in Truk Blue Lagoon, there's gardens there. There's a museum right next door to the hotel, and the museum is a great memory of Operation Hailstorm. In simple terms, Operation Hailstorm was the revenge of the US forces for Pearl Harbor, where the Japanese fleet attacked the US Navy in Hawaii. Operation Hailstorm was the US forces coming in to bomb the Japanese fleet at rest in Truk Lagoon. And the vast majority of the wrecks in Truk are cargo ships. And whilst there were very few military casualties in Operation Hailstorm, and by that I mean the Japanese ships, it was a tremendous success because the Japanese were trying to invade the islands one by one to increase their dominance in the Pacific and get closer to that Pacific coast of the US. And with the eradication of their cargo fleet, logistically, it was impossible to do. And I'm going to come on to that in a little bit more detail in a second. I'm no expert on that one, but I know a man who is. Excuse me. We will come on to that, and there's very good reason for it. So back to the trip. We have 7 nights on Odyssey. We'll be diving 3, 4, 5 times a day, and nitrox is standard. 12-litre bottles are standard. 15s are available free of charge. Twin set available free of charge. Side mount available free of charge. And of course, Odyssey is fully set up for tech diving and CCR divers as well. We charge a little bit more for gas blends beyond the standard nitrox, and of course the consumables for CCR divers as well. So the type of diving we're going to be doing, it's a bit of an urban myth I found in my experience that Truk is perceived to be deep, dark, techie, squeezy holes, engine rooms, and it's only for the really, really, crazy, insane metalheads. It's kind of a fallacy. Having been there myself and been on Odyssey, I can tell you that the diving is perfectly suited for recreational divers. Advanced certification with a depth qualification of 40 meters will qualify you to do pretty much every single dive there, bar 1 or 2. And those are choice dives. So most of the wrecks are fully accessible in whole or part at depths shallower than 40 meters. And obviously we watch our no decompression limits and dive as safely as we possibly can do. But it isn't dark and squeezy. It is if you want it to be. And the guides are phenomenal. This is their backyard, and they play very well in their backyard. They know where everything is. Getting down into engine rooms is very, very doable for those that are qualified and for those that have the intent. For those that don't, the wrecks have been down there over 80 years. They are immense in the main, the size of small towns. There are cargo holds that you could drive 4 London double-decker buses through simultaneously without touching the sides. There's hospital ships where you can dive through the operating theatre. Even up on the top decks of the boat, there'll be artifacts and antiquities that have been recovered by the guides and laid out in museum style. So there is plenty to see for the recreational diver. And I think I went in 2017 on my last trip there, and I was adamant that I didn't really want to travel to the other side of the world to dive wrecks. I like a wreck, but I'm not a fanatic. And I swore blind after that trip that we were going back because it was brilliant. The diving is phenomenal. The wrecks are huge. They've been there a long time, and they are living reefs. They really are absolutely covered in hard and soft corals, marine life. And outside of the wrecks, on the edge of the lagoon, there's some good shark diving as well. So there's an awful lot more to Truk Lagoon than people perhaps perceive right in the first instance. So one of the biggest things about being in the lagoon, of course, is the water is pretty calm. Very rarely is there current. Very rarely is there anything more than a ripple across the surface, unless the winds really pick up. And as such, the visibility tends to stay pretty good as well. So it is a tropical destination to go dive phenomenal wrecks in, and we loved it. Hence, we're going back. So,
John, I had a list of questions here, and you've more than answered all of them.
Good. Can I tell you about Odyssey? Because Odyssey is one of the things about the Scuba Place. We choose our partners very carefully. We work on a basis of we know what we like, and therefore we're assuming what our customers are like. And there are plenty of operators out there, but the reason we choose to work with Odyssey and continue to do so is because the quality of their service, amongst other things. The boat is phenomenal. It's like a liveaboard that I've never come across before Odyssey, and it is very, very all-inclusive. So if you order a gin and tonic at the end of the day, you'll be asked which gin you want, what type of tonic you want. There is that choice. It's all-inclusive. The food is phenomenal. There's a barbecue night, a steak night, a seafood night, even serving up homemade sushi and what have you. The diving is exceptionally well organized. The boat has a lift that you can use to get in the water as well as get out of the water, if you're that way inclined. Hang tanks and hang bars at the back of the boat for off-gassing. All of this comes very much as standard, and they take it in their stride. But the cabins are really spacious as well. individually air conditioned, and on top of that, you have your own flat screen TV of suitable size with a built-in movie database. So it is very, very well done. Camera charging stations. There's nothing here on Odyssey that isn't kind of setting the bar for how other operators and other liveaboards should operate. It really is phenomenal. So that's why we work with those guys, and we're very pleased to do so.
Wonderful. So it sounds like heaven, really does.
You should come, Jeff. Come on.
Well, yes, indeed. Well, on that, if people want to join you now, how's the best way for them to get in touch?
Just get in touch. Give us a call. I'm sure that you're going to put our telephone number up on screen. So email, telephone, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp. It doesn't really matter. We're easy to get hold of. We have 2 spaces left, and we've even some of us in the group are going on from Truk and having a week in the Philippines. And that offer is available as well. So I think the starting price for an additional week in the Philippines is £1,100 based on the standard room type, but including diving and full board. So it doesn't have to be just a 1 week on Odyssey as part of this deal. We can extend quite happily. So
John, I guess even if people miss this trip, you've got lots more in plans for the future, and we'd love to hear about them at a later date. That would be fantastic. So, look, for the moment, we'll wind it up there. I hope you have a wonderful time, which I'm sure you will.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Thanks for your time, and we'll catch up again soon.
Look forward to it. You take care.
Cheers now, John. Bye.
Bye-bye.